hopefully it lets me merge these videos. If not, I guess I'm making a secondary video. So I'm gonna be assembling my BCA bufferless upper 9mm side charging onto my standard AR lower, but I'm doing something a little different. I'm using a Colt Magwell adapter block. So I know it works just fine with my PSA bolt, and it should work just fine with the BCA bolt, because that BCA bolt looks like it'll feed from a Colt Mag no problem. Everything looks like it's pretty much the same as my PSA bolt. So let's get going here. I'm going to show you how I'm going to disassemble this Odin Works brace here. This is not the correct way. I'm just going to go ahead and let that be known right now. But these things don't torque down very high, so it really ain't no big deal. Start by getting that buffer out, huh? That'd probably be my best bet, huh? You're gonna see it go patwang here in a sec. There we go. Sorry, I don't have much patience. Don't lose your little spring in the back there. All right, let's see where we're at here. Here's the block they send you from PSA, or sorry, BCA. Excuse me, no disrespect meant. So you could already tell. Well, we're not using that if I'd pay attention to the directions, huh? I'll put those over here for now. So no more need for a plunger, which is fine. I had one that's been missing for quite some time, so I needed a spare. You don't have to actually torque this. In the directions it even says just to snug it up. So we're going to take this now. Don't squish the spring. I like how there's a little QD mount. I was curious about that. And here's our screw. And the sentinel in here somewhere. There it is. Don't drop the screw or cross thread it. There we go. It's going in nice and snug. Okay. So shout out to BCA though. I hit them up, said, hey, it's been about 2 weeks since I ordered this. They got back to me that day, if not the next morning. I'm pretty sure it was that day. I read the email and they said it's on its way. Sorry. I expect a new product. It's been really blowing up on YouTube, so I suspected that it was going to have its delays. So you take your guide rod, it fits in the back like so. Don't forget your little rubber buffer plug there. Pop that in there. And in case it doesn't let me merge videos, I did some weight comparisons. The BCA bolt only weighs 13 ounces, and there's no buffer in this. This thing only weighs 13 ounces as compared to my standard PSA bolt with the weight in the back. This thing weighs about 14.5, plus I run a 5.5 ounce buffer. So it's very interesting that they managed to get a 9mm to run off such a lightweight system. I could only imagine that the bolt bounce is pretty insane. All right, so that's in place. No worries there. I'm gonna reassemble the upper. One thing I also explained in the last video, here is a comparison of both uppers. This is my PSA upper with the red dot on it. Same length barrel as BCA, same length handguard and all that, but the receivers are completely different. You could see, to allow a lot more mass and for the proprietary system that they got going on, the charging handle slot's been opened, so It is completely proprietary upper system, and the bolt's not interchangeable with any other AR series. The barrels, on the other hand, the feeding and all that, everything else, the dimensions look exactly the same from BCA to a PSA. Nothing crazy there. So let's get to it. The bolt is just gonna feed in like so. I like how they actually do have a slot on the left of this bolt, so I guess if you wanted to ever cut one in the future or buy another upper receiver, you can make it left side charging, so that's pretty cool. And I'm guessing it's just easier to machine it all in one shot like that than it is to make a bunch of custom bolts. Okay, so this right here, there goes your charging handle and your screw. I've heard things about BCA and people telling you to snug up your charging handle and Loctite everything and all that, so I'll probably do that in the future. But other than that, I've heard their quality control's gotten pretty great. So there she is in her glory, right side charging, 9mm. You can see fully charged back, it only sticks out that far. And now goes the fun part. Put our recoil spring in there. Everything I've read and seen says to push the bolt back, and so okay, there we go. There she is. There's the upper, fully mounted. It racks. There's something cool about doing that in an AR. That kind of just does it for me. Okay. Safety and everything's doing the things. The little trigger pull. I'm going to put it back on safe. I'm going to pop a mag in here and see if it loads around. This is what it looks like with Colt mags. I think it looks pretty awesome, personally. Got more of the Intratec Tech 9 look to it. And we're going to see if it chambers around. And it sure did. Make sure it ejects. You're going to see it eject here. And I immediately had a jam. Now, I might have to adjust my feed ramp a little bit. But, try one more time. Load it up. Okay. Maybe it was me not letting the bolt go fast enough. I don't know. Get all the live rounds out. There she is. Now I need to get me a foldy boy on the back of this. I'm going to take this thing to the range probably before this weekend and give it a good run through, see how it works. But there she goes in all of her glory. There goes a recoil spring, Bear Creek Arsenal, using Colt mags. And it seems to be feeding. So something a little different. I see these with Glock mags. I have not seen anyone capable of answering the question, will it use Colt mags? There's your answer. It will feed, it will work with Colt mags. And let me just knock all these rounds out. Give me one sec here, because I don't have an empty Colt mag lying around right now. One feature I like about this, here's an empty Colt mag. Last round bolt, hold open. Feature you don't see with a lot of Glock mags. So, Colt mags for the win. BCA for the win. Can't wait to see how this thing functions with a 13-ounce BCG here. That is very light. So 13 ounces this thing weighs. We'll see how that does. Seems very light to me, but I've seen it function in a lot of videos, so we're gonna give it the test. Stay tuned.